Good evening, everyone. Happy Thursday. I hope you guys had a great day today, and I hope you had a great trading session. This is the daily trading update video for the February 1st session. If you missed that live stream, I will link that up in the iCards. As you can see at the bottom of the screen, I had a gross loss of $405. When you add in the $35 of commissions, you get a net loss of $440. I took 9 trades today. I had 1 win, 4 losses, and 4 break evens. It's been a struggle. This whole week has been, I can't even say struggle really because I am still in the development stages of my strategy, but I have not had a winning day since last Monday. Today was my first time winning a trade since last Friday, I think. Thursday or Friday of last week. Yeah, it's just been a lot. But with this week in particular, the biggest thing with this week is it's just been a trash week. Now, last week, if I apply some of the adjustments that I've made over the last almost 2 weeks, if I apply those adjustments to last week's data, last week would have been a great week, But this week, no matter what, was just a trash week. I don't know if it was FOMC. I don't know if it was the earning. I don't know what it was, but it was just trash. I thought we were going to be able to start the month off a lot better. It started off okay, but yeah, we didn't get there. So let's get into the charts. I'll show you all the trades that I took today. And I keep pressing into the timeline by accident. All right, so here's the first trade that I took. This was the first one that broke even because I was going back towards the middle VWAP level. Seller pressure came in, so I went ahead and I broke even. And I'm not sure. Yeah, so this one I actually would have still won, but most of the time when that happens, I'll end up losing. So this was the next trade. Same thing, going back towards the middle VWAP level. Seller pressure came in, so I had to break even with that one. And it just kind of is what it is. Sometimes I have noticed that if it's happening in the first 5 to 10 minutes of the session, a lot of times it'll still go to my take profit. That might be something that I have to pay attention to in the future. For now, I'll just keep breaking even because most of the time when it happens, I'm going to lose. All right, so then we had some high impact news here. And we kind of switched gears into the uptrend. So this was the first trade that I sat out of. This was a 1-bar pullback. I talked about on the stream how the 1-bar pullbacks on my current Renko settings are different results than the ones from the previous Renko settings. However, the ones on this setting are a lot more accurate because when I was putting my old settings next to the new settings, on the old settings, a 1-bar pullback was not a 1-bar pullback on the new settings. So because this was one that I don't see a whole lot set up, and I didn't really do a full back test of how I want to do the 1-bar pullbacks on the new settings and if I need to keep things the same, I just went ahead and I sat out of it. I don't know why I did that because at this point, like I said in yesterday's update video, just take the damn trade. You're still in evals. Just do it, So I should have. So that one ended up winning. So coming across, this was the next 1-bar pullback. Now this one, even though I did question it, I shouldn't have. This was a perfect 1-bar pullback, and I definitely would have gotten filled. And it just went, there was barely any drawdown whatsoever, and it just went straight to the take profit with that particular one. So both of those were wins. And what did I tell y'all yesterday? It's always the trades that you sit out of that you win. So this was the next trade. This was a valid trade. It just ended up losing, and that was okay. And as you can see, no matter what, I would have lost that particular trade. Now, this one here, this was the third 1-bar pullback, right? And I said when I got into it, I don't really know about this one. And the reason why is because I do use a zigzag indicator. And what I noticed on the Renko charts, if the zigzag doesn't attach to the Renko, I like to call that an extension or whatever, because that's an extension of the swing because it didn't create its own swing by attaching to the Renko bar. And so that happened on this. And I've already said in previous videos that the only time that I can really trade the extensions is when it is divergence. So like, let's say the divergence sets up the first time and typically it's invalid, so I don't get into it, and then we have a swing going back the opposite way, and then we come back into that same divergence trade and the zigzag is not attached, I could typically trade those, and that's usually the only time I can trade extensions. But I tried it. Honestly, by this point I was kind of just like really over it. I said in the live stream that I was thinking about going ahead and just failing this account. That way I don't have any accounts to trade tomorrow. I'm not going to sim, I won't be on live, and I just won't trade at all. But I decided not to do that just for the sake of repetition and keeping my eyes getting adjusted to my new Renko settings and how things look and how things occur. So, yeah. But I was just over it. I was just like, forget it. If it loses, I really don't care. All right. So this is the next trade that I don't think I missed it. I think I just didn't take it. Let me see. What time was this? 9:40. Oh, no. It's not a trade that I missed or didn't take. This one actually went and hit my break even level. So when I'm 26 in profit on the trade, it moves my stop loss to break even. And I didn't get filled on this particular trade. On the stream, you can see that my pending order was there and then it disappears. The indicator that I use to place my pending orders for entry, I have a setting on there where if it gets 20 ticks in profit, just remove the pending order, because technically if I was in the trade, it would move my stop loss to break even at that point anyway. So it would be pointless for me to keep the pending order there. And as you can see, I would have lost if I kept it there because it never went past my break even level. It just played around the VWAP and then would have ended up hitting my stop loss. So this is my one trade that I won today, the first trade that I won in like a week. And it was a nice win too. And I almost didn't get into the trade. It always happens that way. Almost did not get into it. And I know I would have been mad if I didn't. And I actually know that there was another trade that I remember I missed it because I was in the kitchen doing something for my nephew. And I don't necessarily remember where it was. I remember it happened after 10 o'clock though. I'm not all the way sure. I feel like it was here. It was probably here, I think. Pretty sure. All right. So coming across, this was the next trade that broke even. I probably could have stayed in this one, but because we were rotating over my middle pivot level and then the buyer pressure came in shortly after I got into the trade, that's the only reason why I went ahead and I got out of it. But with it rotating over the pivot level like that, I should have probably been able to stay in it. But as you can see, it would have broken even anyway. So I was cool with that. Anytime I break even, because it's like something I don't see very often or whatever, and it was going to break even anyway, it makes me feel good. It's when it was actually going to win that I'm like, why did I do that? All right, so this is the trade that I kind of sort of missed when I was in the kitchen getting something from my nephew. But then when I came back, it was like right at the entry. I think it was like right around here. So I could have put the pending order in. I just didn't, because I was just like, man, if this loses, then I'm gonna kind of be screwed because I'm not gonna have enough drawdown going into tomorrow. So I stayed out of it, and I don't even know why I did that, because guess what? The very next trade that I took, I was unsure about it. And I even said, I was like, man, I'm not quite sure how I like how it's pushing off of the VWAP. There was so much volume in that one candle to push off of the VWAP. And I understand that it's the middle VWAP level. So, you know, typically with the middle VWAP level, that's kind of that level that's going to determine, are we going to stay above or below it? So it's like, on that hand, I understand why there's so much volume in this one candle that's waiting to reverse. However, on the other hand, I'm like, if the level, my thought process, if it's a true support or resistance level, you should need the least amount of volume pushing off of that level, because it should be reacting extremely fast off of it. But because it sat there at the VWAP for like a couple of minutes before it even, I think it was like that one reversal candle, which is about 10 points. It took like 5 minutes or something, that one candle to close. So I was unsure about it, got into it, and I said, if seller pressure comes in, I'll get out. Seller pressure did not come in. But what I thought about how it was reacting at the VWAP was absolutely true. Yes, I'm sorry, guys. I have a guess. Yes. Okay. All right. So here's the last two trades here. This particular trade was just a loss. It was a valid trade. It just was a loss. And then this one I went ahead and I broke even as well. So that was that. So let's go ahead and I'll show you guys my trail and drawdown update. So as you can see, I'm recording a video. So as you can see on the one account that I have left, this is the 25K account that I started on Monday. There's very little drawdown left. I am just going to go ahead and wake up early tomorrow morning and go ahead and trade. If I fail the account before I get on the stream, then I'll probably still stream and I'll just go ahead and sim trade as much as I don't want to, and I'd rather just start my weekend early. I don't want to make a habit of that. So whatever happens tomorrow happens, but I have $142 left in drawdown. So I basically cannot lose a trade and then, like, let's say my first trade is a loss, that second trade that I get into, it has to win and it has to have very little drawdown because my stop loss for every trade is about $124. So that's where I'm at. I'm just at the point where I'm just looking forward to next week and restarting the week. I told you guys on the stream, typically by like Wednesday or Thursday, I'm just kind of like over the week, and it's like, all right, I'm just looking forward to the fresh new account that's coming on Monday, and that's all I really care about, just starting from scratch again. So we'll see. If you guys have any questions, feel free to leave them down below. Please like this video, subscribe if you haven't already. But other than that, I'll see you guys bright and early Friday morning, tomorrow morning. Have a good rest of your evening.